An update to breaking news from last night. Overnight, investigators released the name of the Omaha man shot and killed by an Omaha police officer yesterday. Omaha police say he had a gun.
His name is Steven Phipps. He's 22. Omaha police say Phipps was the driver involved in a traffic stop near 31st and Taylor shortly before 6 last night. According to investigators, Phipps immediately got out of the car and stood outside the open driver's side door. Officers say they gave multiple verbal commands for him to stay in the car.
Omaha police say they reviewed body-worn camera footage that shows Phipps pulling out a handgun as he climbed over a fence near the North Omaha Transit Center. We have a screenshot of the gun recovered at the scene. One officer fired one shot at Phipps. Phipps later died at Nebraska Medicine.
Omaha police say the front passenger in the car they pulled over took off after officers started chasing the driver. That individual has since been located.
Omaha police say the incident was captured through cruiser cameras as well as local surveillance cameras in addition to the officer's body-worn cameras. The involved officer has been placed on paid leave. That's department protocol. Both officers will be interviewed at a later date. Omaha police plan to release more details after those interviews and hold a news conference. Now remember, this comes on the heels of an Omaha police SWAT officer last month shooting and killing an unarmed suspect during a no-knock search warrant. The officer says the suspect charged him. In that case, the police chief has recommended he be fired for violating procedures and policies, not for criminal intent.
Steven Phipps' autopsy is scheduled to take place tomorrow, so stay with 6 News for the latest on this developing story. We've got complete coverage here on air and online anytime at WOWT.com.